Today we're going to go over some firearms basics, including how to properly load and unload a handgun, and also check to see if the firearm is safe and clear.
What's up, America? Neil here, and Kim from Geauga Firearms Academy. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to go over some, again, the safety procedures on properly making sure the gun is clear. But we're also going to go and give you a little heads up that we're going to be doing a review on this guy, the Alien Gear. They came out with their new inside and outside magazine pouch, and this is the double. So I've been working with that for a while, give you my opinion on that. And also, this is the Core, K-O-R-E, Core, their X3 belt. It's their new, like, heavier duty. It's got a nylon outer side, core inside, leather in the back. So checking that out too. So we're running all this gear today just to see how that's going to go. But let's get into our safety video and check it out. So first off, we're going to talk about the 4 safety rules. The first one being,
treat all guns as if they're loaded.
The second one being, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. The third one being,
know your target and what's behind it.
And the fourth one being, never point your muzzle at anything you don't wish to destroy. So those are universal laws of keeping guns safe. So remember those, write those down. Now we're going to talk about how when we find this gun, we pick it up. I don't mean like in children, that's a totally separate topic there, but when we have a gun, again, we're going to assume it's loaded. So let's go through a basic safety procedure. One of my pet peeves in all of the YouTube world is there's always anytime gun channels come out, they always show they're showing their gun clear, and you realize I don't really do that. If you don't know properly how to safety check a gun, period, there's nothing else you need to do. Absolutely nothing. YouTube, nothing. Go find an instructor and learn how to safely load and unload your gun. That should be number one. If you don't know the safety aspect of it, that's not tactical, it's not targets, it's not holding the gun. You have to know the basics of that. And I'm going to assume that you guys all have the basic understanding of gun safety. If you don't, stop watching all YouTube videos, go find an instructor, and learn how to safely handle a gun. Okay? I'm kind of assuming we're all at an adult level here and we know how to do that. That said, this video, I'll put this out there as my safety video. So if you guys, from now on, if you ever want to write some stupid comment about why I don't check guns on camera, by the way, I'm the only one that gets hurt there, okay? I'm going to refer you to this video. So, first time ever, here we go. It's an unloaded chamber, and there's nothing in the magazine, so the gun's clear. But we're going to make it not safe. Okay? Now, I know this gun is loaded because I assume this gun is loaded because I can't see the chamber. Even though I just loaded it right now, it makes no difference. It's a gun and I can't see the chamber, therefore it's loaded. Remember the rules. We're not McDonald's, we don't have to tell you the coffee's hot. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove the magazine source from the gun. Okay? Keep in mind that my muzzle is pointed in a safe direction right now and my finger is not on the trigger. And of course I have not yet seen the chamber. And in just a side note, with the Springfields and many other guns, they're going to have a little indicator that's saying that the chamber is loaded. I could care less. That means nothing. Until you physically can see in there, this is irrelevant. Okay? It's a great little feature, but it's worthless. Okay, so now I'm going to do this. I'm going to rack the slide back, and of course my round will come out. So we can do this in 1 or 2 steps. If you're watching this video, you're obviously a beginner into firearms, so I would recommend you do it in 2 steps. The reason I say that is because it's easier to do 2 independent things than do 2 things at once. So what I'm going to do now is rack my slide to the rear, and a round fell out. Okay, wonderful. Even though I took the magazine out, a round fell out, and I saw it fall out. Until I can see in the chamber, this gun is still loaded. So what I'm going to do now is lock the slide to the rear. So in this particular case, am I still in frame?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my slide lock lever. So I'm going to press up on that as I pull the slide to the rear. And now my slide is locked to the rear. And so for the first time, I can now see into this filthy, dirty chamber. Probably should clean this once in a while. And I can see that there is no round in there. Now, some instructors will tell you, actually a lot of instructors will tell you to look for brass. I disagree. I never look for brass. I have definitely driven through a stop sign or a stoplight in my life. I've driven somewhere and forgot half the trip because your brain kind of goes on autopilot, and I never want that to happen with a firearm, ever. So I never want to consciously look for something, say, yep, there it is, good, and I slide the slide forward and go, and the gun goes bang. I want to always find an empty chamber. That's what I'm looking for. Once I see that empty chamber, I also like to take my finger and touch it to ensure that it is in fact empty. So now that I have no magazine here, the chamber is clearly empty visually and tactically, and the slide is locked to the rear. Now I know this gun is clear so that I can perform maintenance on it or whatever the case is. So proper procedure for loading the gun. I'm going to find the gun in one of two conditions. The safest way is that I'm going to have this slide locked to the rear, and hopefully it's set down so that I can see in there. But either way, you may find your gun in this condition or in this condition. If I'm at a range and I'm definitely going to be shooting, or I want the gun loaded because I'm going to carry it, wherever the case may be, we don't necessarily have to lock it back in this case, but just for this video, we'll look at it both ways. So here my slide's locked to the rear. Wonderful. I'm going to take my magazine and I'm going to insert it. Now remember, this is kind of going off of the safety and kind of going into tactics or proper procedures for training, but I don't want to have two different sets of processes. In other words, I don't want to do something at home or at the range that I wouldn't do in real life, because every time we do something with this gun is a repetition. Okay, so take advantage of it. If I'm going to load the gun, load it properly, load it the way that you should. And the way that you should load the gun is to bring it up into your face so that you can see the gun and whatever the situation is around us, whether it be your target or potentially a threat. And then I'm going to take my magazine and I'm going to insert it. Now, there's videos on there doing magazine changes and how to load properly, about finding index points and all that. For today, I'm not really worried about that. All I want to get in today is that I want to insert this magazine and seat it firmly into the gun. Firmly. Okay? So, once again, seat the magazine firmly. Then I'm going to come over, grasp the back. So I'll turn this way. So I'm going to grab the back. So start it here, grab the back, and let it go. Notice, very important, that my finger is not on the trigger. Also, any of that area back there is miles and miles of nothing. Okay, so even if I had a round gone off, that's still a safe direction. There's no people or houses or anything over there. Right now I put a spent casing in there, so I'm going to show you what this is going to look like. Hopefully the camera will focus, so we'll take a second here to get it into focus. So there you can see that that is the brass in there. Okay, clearly if we see that, that is no good. That means that there's a round in there. In that particular case, the first thing that I would do, again in a safe direction with my finger off the trigger, is I would release the slide, okay, full force, and then the extractor will hopefully do its job. I will have the port, that is the side where the spent casings come out of, towards the ground, because I want gravity to help me in this case. And then I'm going to pull my slide to the rear, and of course I saw it fall out. Again, just because I saw it fall out, we want to do double checks here. I want to lock it to the rear again, and now visually look in there. And now I can see that the chamber is empty. Again, I'm going to touch it and we make sure that it's clear. So people are going to ask, I'm sure in the video, is why don't I use the slide release to load the slide? You can watch my video on that on proper loading. It's a tactical thing for me, a training thing. It has nothing to do with safety. So if you want to watch that, you can. Again, this is a safety-oriented video, so that's the deal here. All right, so this one's really important to me. This is properly unloading the gun, especially when we know it's loaded. I just want to make a key point here. Once I remove my magazine, I've seen people do this, especially instructors, which makes me nuts. People will take their hand, okay, they will cover the port, and then they pull the slide back and lock it to the rear. And the reason they do that is that they catch the round in their hand. Okay, so let's show this real quick. Keep it rolling. Take one round out. You have to understand that the primer, which is that just like the little red button on the grill that you're going to click 40 times and never works, well, they work a lot better in rounds. When that is struck, that is what starts the process and how the round goes off. The edges of the slide here, obviously, and the spring has more than enough tension to set that off. So that if you do something stupid, like try to rack the slide back, and then lock it while that's falling into your hand. If this round doesn't come out of the way, or that slide releases and it catches that primer in there, it will go off in your hand. So we never ever try to catch the round like that as it's coming out. Let it fall down. It's not a grenade. It's not going to explode on impact. And I got news for you. Even if it did go off down there, far better for us than catching it in our hand, believe me. And it's not the movies. Bullets don't go, the actual bullet doesn't go flying out. It's basic physics. It doesn't work that way. If you guys really want to know more about that, we can explain it. But the bottom line is, we want that to fall off. You can let it fall onto a table or a pillow or something if you're really that worried about it, but never ever try to catch it in your hand. Proper etiquette. So whether you're at a gun store, you're at a range or a training area or something, and you're going to show somebody your gun, whatever the case is. So in this case, Kim wants to see my gun. Okay, so I'm going to show it to her so that she can handle it. I have my gun out now. What I'm going to do, of course, is I'm going to remove my magazine, just like we demonstrated here. I'm going to check my chamber, lock it open, look inside there, the gun's clear. Now let's say I go and hand the gun to Kim this way, and obviously I'm handing it grip forward and muzzle down. So Kim's going to take the gun now. Now just because I checked it right in front of her, right?
Yep.
And it was clear, it's still proper. It's not like an insult to me or whatever, the person that's showing you the gun or the instructor or whatever the case is. It's proper etiquette that Kim will now do.
I'm going to check it again.
There you go.
Back it to the rear. And I'm going to check for an empty chamber. So let's just say you just finished shooting, or you're loading your gun up and you're getting ready to go for the day. We want to holster our firearm properly. The first thing you want to do is always keep your finger off of the trigger, and you always want to look it into the holster. There's no rush, it's not a speed drill, that's not important.
Okay guys, I hope you learned something from that basic safety video. If you got people who are new into shooting, go ahead and show them that. Again, find someone in your area. Look, how many people are really going to come to me from this video? Probably 0, okay? Out of all the thousands of subscribers that we have, they're all over the world. I mean, it's the YouTube, it's the internet. I mean, come on. So this isn't about bringing in me. Find an instructor in your area, wherever your area is, and get some basic training first on safety and all that good stuff. And then you can progress on to the rest of the stuff. As always, Kim and I hope you like that video. If you do, if not for me, for Kim, give us a thumbs up. Yeah?
That's right.
You can find us where now?
On Facebook, on Instagram, and of course subscribe, please.
The interweb of the world now. All over now. Until next time, you want to do it?
I'm ready.
You ready? You got this?
Until next time, remember, it's always better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6.